All right, it's your favorite segment, and it's ours. It's time for the Power Rankings. All right, here's a look at our top 5. Let's start with your 5.
Yeah, man, I got Winnipeg at 5. I think I've been impressed with them, and obviously Teddy is going to do what he does, but I just want to see more. I want to see more. I want them to be better, and the West is stacked, so how are they going to kind of compete against the rest of the talent, which we'll get to?
Yeah, so I got Scarborough 5, so we've got that flipped.
Yep.
Interchangeable, both 1 and 2 in scoring this season. For me, it comes down to the head-to-head matchup and the fact that Scarborough's wins, although be great, it was against some of the lower teams. So
fair, not the most impressive wins. I hear you.
Yeah,
but also, just because I'm putting Scarborough at 4, I think getting Cat back soon will be a huge part. They've looked better. They're kind of trying to establish a bunch of guys. Khalif Young's on the bench. Like, they're going to be good eventually. Yeah. I just kind of am forecasting that with this power ranking.
Yeah, and Darius Dace, the reason I have him at 4 as well, leading the league in rebounding right now. Yep. So he's really starting to get comfortable in his role and his spot on this team as well. So that 1-2 punch, right? Number 3. I'll start this one, okay? Because this segment is starting to become an apology to it, right? Last week was Brampton. I'm not going to go there this week, right? I'm staying away from that one. Yeah. But Vancouver, I owe you an apology. You've been fantastic this year. You're really starting to develop that three-man
trio.
The three-headed monster, right? In Copeland, we already talked about Tajay Moore.
Kobe.
And then Kobe.
My guy, he always forgets
I'm not
Kobe.
forgetting Kobe. I
when
like
you
Kobe.
see him, give him, yell at him.
But also Ward, right? Like, it's easy to forget him, right? He's still doing Ward things, right? Second in the league in field goal percentage, really efficient. So shout out to Vancouver. Impressive wins, too, for them.
I've got Vancouver at 3-2. I mean, I think with 2-1, it's hard to dispute just because these two teams have been the most dominant in the league so far. But I completely agree with you with Vancouver. And honestly, I think they're the best position to potentially win it all. That's my sort of like early hot take here. Sask is at 2 for me, Saskatchewan. I think at the end of the day, like, that game last night between Edmonton and Sask kind of determined who was going to be 2-1 for me. If you win, you were going to be 1. If you weren't, you're going to end up 2. So that's sort of why I debated between Edmonton being 1 and Sask being 2. And I guess you're
I got
you're
Sask 2. Not
way.
much to add on that point. I came into thinking I was going to have Sask number 1, but that win changed a lot. Yeah. And I think while apologies are due, maybe you should bring up number 1.
I am sorry for the Edmonton Stingers. I put you guys 8th, I think it was.
That's tough.
And you guys are undefeated right now, 4-0. I apologize. I slept on the continuity, which is something that you brought up. And also, Jordan Baker is just coaching like incredibly well. The systems that they're running offensively, it's very, very great. On Twitter, you can find a lot of these breakdowns of what they're doing offensively to make things work. You mentioned it earlier, but number 1 in assists, bottom of the league in turnovers. They're doing things efficiently too. Really, really love what Edmonton's doing. They look great right now.
Holding teams to the second lowest points per game. That's huge. Their defense being great and the biggest point differential as well. So Edmonton, I always knew. I know. It's a little humble brag. But
hey, Vancouver, I knew. All right, Bandits.
Any honorable mentions for your bottom 5? We won't say where they are, but things you want to see.
I think for me, it's Brampton and Niagara. Again, for Niagara, it's just getting your guys back. Once Khalil comes back, once they're able to get into rhythm, I think they'll end up being in the top 5. And for Brampton, they had 2 tough losses just now, and it's
doing it without LJ as well, who was a big part of that win.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure with Brampton yet, and like I'm waiting because I want to put y'all in the top 5 because I feel bad because we put them last.